What's up guys, Fred here, and today we have a very interesting lesson. I'm gonna show you how I can actually animate the colors of any object. And I mean this, for example, as an example, you can see this project and we are animating the colors for it. It looks pretty cool. Another example is this project here. Again, we are animating the colors, looks also pretty cool. And another example, for example, is this project, which I don't really like, but just as I'm showing it to you just as an example. As you can see, the eyes are getting animated here, and we're actually going to practice this on the eyes, and then you can do it on any other project that you want to. So let's go to Photoshop, and here we have this image, and we will change the color of her eyes. So we will animate the colors of her eyes. How are we going to do that? So first of all, make sure so always when you create a new project, okay, you have here this background layer. Make sure you delete this background layer. It's always white one here. I'm sure you know what I mean. Anyway, make sure you have only one image here. Then let's create a new layer, empty layer. And so when we have done that, let's go to brush tool. And doesn't matter what color you actually have, really doesn't matter. Just go here, make sure hardness is 0. Let's get closer now to the eyes, and now we just have to color the eyes like this a little bit, and we have to do the same to the other eye. Perfect. So now we have this layer, and if we turn it off and on, you can see that this layer we have colored the eyes on this layer. So what do we need to do right now? First of all, let's open blending mode. In order to do that, let's just click twice here on the empty place. So not on the text, not on the image, but somewhere here on the empty place. Twice. You click 2 times. Oh, what else you can do? Press right here and choose blending mode. Blending options. Now go to color overlay and make sure it's checked, and make sure it's checked on. Make sure you also choose it. And here we have, for example, color, and just let's say you choose blue color. Let the blending mode be normal for now. Let's actually do it multiply. So right now, actually, what happens? We multiplied the blue color with black one, and that's why we still see the black color. So what we actually have to do, we have to make sure we see only this color here, so we don't see the black color. How we can actually do that? Let's do that normal. Let's press OK. So here you can see opacity and fill. What is actually the difference? Opacity controls the opacity of the whole layer. For example, if I make opacity down, we will see the eyes behind, or if I make it up, we will see more of the blue color, so we can play with it. Fill actually controls the opacity of the things that are located, of the colors that are located on the layer. So for example, if I turn down the fill, then the opacity of these objects, of these colors, will get down, but the opacity of effect of the color overlay will stay. For example, if I do it down, see what happens. I do 0, and now I go to color overlay. Again, you just press twice on color overlay, and it opens. Now, for example, if I go to blending mode and do multiply, see what happens. Now this blue color is going to multiply with eyes, because there is no black color anymore behind. Why there is no black color? Because we made fill 0. So for example, if I change the color now, see, it changes as well, and it looks pretty cool. So again, to make you understand what is the difference between fill and opacity, I'm going to show you one more thing. Let me just create a circle. You don't have to do it. I'm just showing you to you as an example, and I will also give this circle a shadow. So see now, for example, if I go to the opacity of the circle and make it down, see what happens. It's getting lower. It's getting even lower. But if I make this 100, and if I go to fill and make this down, see what happens. You see, only the object itself is removed, but the effect, drop shadow effect, still like is staying here basically. So that's what we did with this layer basically. We removed the black color, but the effect, the red color overlay stays here. So let's now delete ellipse. We don't need it. Let's go to color overlay and let's make it some different color, because let's make it bluish. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So how do we animate it now? In order to animate it now, you have to let me actually check how long is this video. Okay, we still have time. Let's go to window and choose here timeline. When we choose, we have here this timeline option appeared, and I'll just press create video timeline. When we do that, let's close this. We have our layers that we had here converted into a video layers basically. So how this timeline actually works? If you look here, we will see here 10f, 20f, 0100f, and so on. So what does this mean? For example, 0100f means 1 second. 0200f means 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 and 5 seconds. Of course, we can make this longer or smaller, but 5 seconds is just the default value that Photoshop gives you when you create a new video timeline. So what is actually 10f, 20f? So every second has 30 frames in it. Basically, f is frames, and every second, for example, 0100 means 30 frames. And here we have 10 frames, 20 frames, 30 frames, so basically 1 second. So again, 1 second 10 frames, 1 second 20 frames, and then again when we have 30 frames, it's already second number 2. So even, for example, if you look here, you see 30 FPS means frames per second, 30 frames per second. If I start moving this, see what happens. We have here 16, for example. This means we are on frame number 16. If I go up, we are on second number 1. If I go even up, for example, right now we are on second number 1. So right now we are on 1 second 13 frames basically. Sorry, let me get comfortable. Comfortable. And anyway, what we also can do, for example, here we have this slider, and this slider helps us to get closer to our timeline or get further away from it. For example, if I press here, see what happens. We see now 20 and 25 frames, but we didn't see that before. It was there, we just didn't see it because we were too far away from our timeline. If I get even closer, closer, see what happens. We will start seeing the frames frame by frame. For example, frame number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, and so on. And if we get continue, we will see where's second number, where's our second, right? That's 20, 28, 29. Here is 0100 means second number 1. So basically, if I, for example, now I can go further away, I can just make this smaller. As you can see, we see now seconds. So it's the same thing, we're just getting further and closer to our timeline. Okay, if I make it to the left, you see we won't see anything at all. If I make it right, we will see 2 seconds, 4 seconds, we will see more, and so on. So let's get closer now. Let's just, this is actually fine. If we see just 5 seconds, that's fine. So what do we need to do now, right now? If we open this, here we are going to see style. So these are actually different parameters that we can animate in Photoshop. I'm not going to dive into all of them. I'm just going to show you one parameter that we can animate, which is style, because that's the only one we need to animate the colors. Okay, how does this work? So first of all, this controls on what time frame we have. You can see it here, second number 24th frame. If we go to 0 now, for example, I can click on style. When I click on I don't click on style, but you click on this clock near style. When you click on that, you see here this point appear. This basically means that now this style remembered that on second number 0000, basically his style was like this blue colors. So for example, style is this one, color overlay. Okay, so and it's remembered that it was blue. So for example, if I make it now to frame number 10 and I press twice here on color overlay, and then I change the color to something else, press OK and press OK, see what happens. Now we have here second point appeared. So basically now, since we have changed it, now it remembers that on frame number 10 the color is purple, and it remembers that on frame number 0 the color was blue. So that's why if we move it now see it goes from bluish to purple, because this frames helps him to remember what was the color of the object on this frame. So if I make it to 20, I can change it again I make it to 20 now, press twice here on color overlay, go here and change the color like this, green. Let's press OK, and as you can see it changes. So now we have 3 colors, blue, purple, green, and it's going to change over time. Let's see how much time we got. Okay, and yeah, I hope you understand this. Let's get further. Basically, so I'm going to post this on Instagram, on Instagram channel IQTV as well, Instagram TV. Basically, the problem is that there you can post only 10 minutes. So that's why if you're watching this on Instagram TV, make sure you go to my YouTube channel and you continue watching this. Okay, so let me close this and let's continue, because this is going to be over than 10 minutes. So okay, so now for example we can go to second number 1, and here we can press again twice, and we can change the color. Okay, and now we have here 4 colors basically, which is like blue, purple, and so on. And we can continue doing that. For example, if I do bring it now here, I can press play here and see what happens. It will start changing the colors. Looks pretty cool, right? And of course, you can animate any other part of the image as well. You can animate the colors of any other part of the image as well by doing that. So now what we can actually do, let's make this smaller, like this. Actually, wait, why did, okay, yeah, sorry. What we actually have to do right now in order to make this animate, so of course we can continue doing that, changing the colors every time, but this is going to take too long. So what we should do now we should go back to this color here, which was bluish. Let me just see if I bring it back to this point and I press twice here, I will see that color. So I can just press on it. I can copy the press right here and copy the name of the color, basically the code of the color. Press OK. So now I can go again to this frame, second number 1, 10 frames, press twice here, and I can change the color. Press right and paste. Press OK. So why did I do that? Because, for example, if you post it on Instagram, then it's going to be as a loop, and if it is a loop, then it needs to go back to its original color. So if it started with blue, it needs to go back to blue, so it can continue looping. So, basically it started with blue, it goes back to blue, and then it goes to other color, so and then it goes to purple and so on. So so when it ends and when it starts again, we don't see the ending and starting point, so it's seamlessly looping. And what we should do right now actually is let's make this smaller. So in order to make this smaller, you can just move your mouse here and you will see this kind of sign arrow, and you can just press and drag it left. And now we can just make copies. For example, you can just press right and choose duplicate layer, press OK, and now we have another copy here. I can put it here right now. So why do we do that? If I open it, you will see the same points this layer has as well. Why do we actually create a copy? We created a copy so we can just paste copies, and we don't need actually to continue basically putting these points on the colors. Okay, let me explain it differently. Sorry, this was too difficult. Anyway, in order to put it to Instagram, it needs to be minimum 3 seconds. Okay, so that basically means that if it was like this 3 seconds, we had to put every 10 frames we had to put new color, and it would be a lot of work. So in order not to repeat the same stuff every time, we just create a duplicate and then we put it right, so it's going to continue, because here we have already this point animated. So again, we can create a duplicate, okay, and then put it right. As you can see, again, it's getting animated, so we don't need to do the same thing over and over. We can just copy and paste basically. So now in order to save this as a video, first of all, let's drag this thing here and put it left. This basically shows the length of the video. This is going to be 4 seconds. That's enough for Instagram. And let's go to file, export, and here we can just press render video. We have to wait a little bit. Almost done, guys. If you did until this, if you are still watching it, then congratulations, you're almost done. And now, yeah, so first of all, we can select the name. So let's say color the eyes, for example. Now let's select folder. I'm going to do desktop, and make sure this is Adobe Media Encoder, or if you have Mac, you may have the QuickTime, so it's also fine. Then you can choose quality, high quality, medium, low quality. Let's choose high quality. Everything else is fine. Let's just press render. Let's wait. It usually doesn't take too long, but because I'm recording right now and I have some other stuff opened, it may take some time. Oh, it's done. Perfect. Here you see it's MP4. Cool, right? We animated it, and you can use the same technique to animate anything else you want in Photoshop. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you learned a lot. So please make sure you subscribe, because I'm posting new cool stuff every day, new tutorials every day. Also, I'm posting, new projects every day, almost every day, okay, on my Instagram at Fred's Gallery. So you can also follow me there. And if you want to become Photoshop pros, then check the link below in the description where I teach you Photoshop from zero to pro. It's a perfect course for anyone who wants to master Photoshop. Even if you already know something, I'm sure you will learn a ton. If you don't know anything, that's even better because you will open a whole new world of Photoshop magic. See you guys till the next lesson. Bye.